I just wanted to apologize for calling names out. There's a lot of things that probably went on in that film, but I do feel that the film was lacking. So.
Yeah, it wasn't just solely on one person. It was on everybody that made that movie.
Yeah, all of you sucked.
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to apologize.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, that was a full team effort.
Initiating weekly entertainment brought to you by Extra Rad. Boys Meet Film will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy.
All right, welcome back to Boys Meet Film. My name's Michael, and these are my boys,
Max,
Sean,
Kellen.
And today, we're going to talk about The Monkey, the latest film by Osgood Perkins, who you might know from movies like Longlegs, Gretel and Hansel, and The Black Coat's Daughter.
why are you talking like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
What's going on?
I don't know.
Fix
kinda
it.
cool.
You might know films like you're talking like out of the side of your mouth.
I'm digging it.
I'm trying to just...
You might know about Longlegs, Side Mouth.
Sylvester Stalloneing it.
You see this? You hear about this?
I'm podcast Michael.
Listen, I've been having to do so much audio editing. I'm making sure that my mouth is always going into the mic. Okay.
So I don't care about me, or you, or anybody.
Wow, off to a hot start here.
This is a good one.
This is really good. Good stuff.
So the movie,
Yeah.
Theo James from Divergent. That's all I know him from.
Was he the dad?
No. Yeah. Yes.
The answer is yes.
He's the lead.
He's the lead.
Okay.
He's the dad.
He's the lead dad.
He's also from White Lotus,
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
second season.
And
I like
the
his
movie,
voice. He has a good voice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice, like soothing.
Yeah, it's kind of
Voice.
like a deep tone.
It's like a
And he's
mix
handsome.
of gravelly
Yeah.
and
It's got it.
silky.
He's got it going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really handsome.
He's really.
He's got a good fuck. He kept doing that throughout the movie.
And he has the perfect amount of stubble.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Really good stubble.
did,
Really
yeah.
good length of stubble.
The stubble
Yeah.
glasses combo.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that. all
He's
the time.
like, oh, I'm shy. I'm a nerd, but
Yeah.
no, he's a honk.
A honk?
He's a honk.
He's a honk.
Yeah, I get it.
Love a good honk.
Of course, yeah.
The movie is about a monkey that shit happens. I don't know. This is a weird movie, and it's one where, like, going into it, I don't want to say too much right off the bat in case I don't know.
The
I don't
trailer
know.
sets it up pretty well.
It
I feel
does.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
I
I
feel
mean,
We all know.
It's a killer monkey.
yeah.
I mean, they say it in the poster, like, people die, and that's messed up.
You know what? You guys are right. I think I might be having a stroke.
Really?
No.
Oh, no.
Nah, still no pulse. He's fine.
Side mouth.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
What's
yeah.
going on? I think love hurts. Like,
Oh,
still
no.
getting to me.
Residual.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's gonna take a while to get off of that one.
For sure.
Which I watched, by the way. Conversation we'll have after.
Oh.
I watched the podcast, not the
Oh.
film.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
I got enough from the pod. I don't need to watch that piece
Yeah.
of shit.
You won't need Well, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I was a little harsh on that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For good reason, though. I mean it.
Yeah. This is a rough one.
But
I
I
mean
like
it.
the monkey a lot better.
I would like to say, can I say something just for my own sanity?
Say
Yes.
it.
Say it into the camera.
I just wanted to apologize for calling names out. There's a lot of things that probably went on in that film, but I do feel that the film was lacking.
Yeah. It wasn't just solely on one person. It was
Yeah,
on
yeah.
everybody that made that movie.
Yeah, all of you sucked.
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to apologize.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, that was a full team effort.
Y'all went down with the ship. But listen, guys, we're not here to talk about Love Hurts.
No,
course
okay.
not.
What did you guys think about the monkey? I'm genuinely interested because I think we got one of our first mixed rooms here.
Yeah.
I think so,
I
too.
think so
Yeah.
too.
I
big
was
time.
seeing
Yeah.
Kellen grumble and
Kellen
grunt.
Dude,
did not like it from how I felt next to him.
I know.
I mean,
No, yeah. I
You
felt the same energy.
I was in between Max and Kellen, and Max and me were just having a fun time giggling, and there was so much like from
Yeah, there was a
Kellen.
lot
Just
of
There's
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's key things that he does when you know he's not enjoying
Oh,
something.
Yeah, I know.
It's the
It's very
lean
noticeable.
down eye wipe. It's the pull his flask out of his pocket and
Right,
start unscrewing it. And
course.
then it's the open a tin of Zins.
So just all of his vices. Just goes to his vices.
Yeah, I just immediately seek comfort.
Yeah.
You know? Just yeah. I was doing a lot of that during this movie. I was just so uncomfortable for a lot of it. I'm still uncomfortable. You know.
It's really interesting. Have you seen any of his other movies?
What were his other movies again? Oh,
Long Legs, Blackcoat's Daughter,
Blackcoat's Daughter.
Gretel and Hansel.
No, I don't watch trash like that.
Oh,
I just saw Longlegs, by the way. That was awesome.
yes.
Yeah, and I know
Thank God, dude.
I-
Thank God.
Hey,
you've been
somebody
talking
else
about
here
this for a
watched it.
very
You and
long
me.
time.
You guys are going to look back on that moment that just happened right now, and you're going to regret that.
I've seen clips from Longlegs, and I love Nick Cage. What can I say?
Yeah.
I it's on my list. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I'm down to watch it too. I have no judgment on that.
I
film.
think so. I'm not going to fully get into this yet because I think it'll come with the spoiler discussion. But these two movies, Longlegs and The Monkey, back to back, is a really interesting double feature. I think thematically, going into the director's life and like the inspirations that are being pulled from it.
Cool.
This was his first movie that had like a tonal shift from his brand. He's usually like his movies are very serious and bleak and uncomfortable. And to me, this movie was trying to be darkly funny, obviously. But it was still very bleak and uncomfortable, At least for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's just I don't know. The way the movie was packaged, it was very uncomfortable, but I liked it. I came out of the screening and I really liked it. I think there's flaws and it was like a little messy.
Oh, there are?
All right. Well, yeah. What are some of the flaws?
I think a part of the bleakness in this movie was like maybe a third of the way in, knowing it wasn't going to get any better. That was the bleakness for me.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
What
Again,
did you guys think?
I disagree with that.
Okay.
It did get better, in my opinion. From the whole childhood scene, which lasted a lot longer than I was expecting to.
It did.
Their entire childhood and them growing up, or just that moment in time for their lives. It wasn't them growing up, but that one. It had its rockiness to it that I thought was improved on later on, in my opinion.
I'm like 50-50 with this movie.
Yeah.
Part of it was really fun, and then part of it I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let's keep it going, or something. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna relate to Kellen a lot on the issues. But when it was fun, I was having a great time.
yeah,
I agree.
absolutely. Watching this movie brought me back to this thing my film professor told me once that I never understood until I watched this movie. And he told me that it's really hard to make a bad film. And at the time I was like, what are you talking about? It's got to be so easy.
We make bad films all the time.
Yeah, it's got to be so easy
that
to make a
dial.
bad film. But I think the understanding of that is that if you are a professional filmmaker and you are skilled in your craft, it has to be really difficult to make like a bad movie. And I think for me, this was a good bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't, let's face it, it didn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
It seemed to cut a lot of corners, and it really did laugh at itself. I mean, how many people just exploded into dust?
I know.
That was so
Yeah.
fun, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
it was.
There were so many hilarious.
I know he's
Right.
yeah, he's on your side on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
But-
think this is interesting that you bring this up because at the end of the credits, we saw produced by James Wan, who directed *Malignant*. Very not serious movie that I was so confused watching it
Yeah.
until you get like you hit a certain point in the film and you're like, oh yeah, no, the movie knows it sucks. Like, I don't think this movie was on the same level as that. Like, I think it was trying to, be a good movie, but there were like tinges. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think it really.
No.
Well, I think maybe it might have been coasting on the fact that like, hey, if people like this enough, then like it's good enough. I mean, at the end, like the 3-beat, like
I know.
reaching for the hand and then psych.
Yeah.
Spoiler, I guess, but
That felt exactly like something we would make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The musical cue
Yeah.
coming back in after the
I like
that was
to
fun.
revisit that when we do go into spoilers because there's a
Yeah.
couple things. But I
Spoiler
don't know
police.
if we're there yet.
Wow, that was cool. Did you see that? That was cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
wow.
play it a couple more times.
Well, let's run it back.
Yeah, run it back.
Yeah, I don't know. Tonally, this movie is weird. I feel like part of it comes from the director comes from a very dark place. I think both in his life and just like the movies he's made in his career, they're very bleak and very dark. And I could see some of that darkness that he's had in those movies bleed into this film, but I don't feel like he was quite comfortable making something like comedic yet. Even though it was, I don't know, it was so weird.
Well, but what I thought was weird is that's where I felt that they excelled. And when the
Really?
movie was asking you to take it seriously, I didn't buy it at all. I was just like, yeah, none of the relationships worked for me. Like it just didn't.
The adult brother, was the most unserious character
Yeah.
ever.
Well, see,
And like he had a whole fortress.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was
we have no idea like what his capital gains are. Like how is he making money? Why does he have a bunch of like CRT TVs with like weird VHS loops?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's like he's
I wasn't taking that seriously. Did that
No.
come off as like
no,
okay?
but it
No,
is
it's like-
also kind of a loose end in a way.
There's tons of loose ends, but like at the heart of it are the relationships of the people.
Yeah.
And when they were asking me to care about that, I feel like it wasn't. It
Yeah.
didn't grip me along. I was just like, all right, I'm ready to see somebody else explode. Like
yeah.
that was the fun part of the movie.
Yeah.
And once they went through a few of those, I was like, okay, where's it gonna go? And that's where I was disappointed.
And a lot of those deaths were like really quick, and then they had great comedic cutaways to like pictures of, portraits
Yeah.
at the funeral, But I think if you go into it expecting a film like Final Destination, it's not going to hit the same way. You're not
No.
going to get the gratifying, like really creative ways people die. Don't get me wrong. They're creative. There was a lot of creativity in this movie.
Yeah.
Definitely. But not if that is your main event, then I think you might be a little disappointed.
Yeah, I agree. I think the kills are really creative. Like there were some really unique ones, especially the first one in the
Yeah.
movie
I
with
love
the harpoon.
Oh yeah. Is this a spoiler?
No, I'm just
no,
saying first
about
kill.
the character in the.
Oh yeah.
Can we? Yeah, we shouldn't talk
We
about.
probably
that.
shouldn't bring up any cameos, but there are cameos.
Yeah, the cameo.
They're on IMDb
Yeah.
if you're curious about what they are.
Yeah.
But
I am
incredible.
curious actually about one of them. Please talk amongst yourselves.
interesting.
No, I think we should be silent while he googles.
yeah. I think you bring up a good point though with Final Destination because I haven't seen Final Destination and I'm solely basing this off of the trailer for the new Final Destination.
Yeah.
But there's this tense feeling in those kills where like there's a lot of setup
Yeah.
being done for those kills. And I feel like there wasn't maybe enough setup for some of the kills.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There were a few that stood out.
There was a couple of good setups.
But then,
For sure.
but then I
But-
feel like there were a few that just they just happen,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
real
was like
quick.
a mixed bag
Yeah.
on kills. I think all of them were creative and fun,
Mhm.
but there is something kind of weird with the editing in general that I felt like pacing wise.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I didn't feel like the movie knew what it wanted to be,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Like and that's where I was like on rewatchability, like I don't know if I would watch it again. You know?
Yeah.
Like I had a good time watching it with all you guys, but like
yeah.
I feel
I don't know if I would be like, "Oh yeah, I really want to see that. I didn't
Mhm.
pick up anything." Or I didn't pick up everything.
They really
Like,
laid it all out.
it's like
for sure.
I got it, and like it became just yeah.
This is how I feel while I was watching it. Because part of the time I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to watch The Monkey again. But then something would happen. I'm like, maybe I need to revisit this like 2 years later or
Mhm.
something like that. Because it had this feeling that like it was obviously inspired by the Coen brothers, you know, and kind of their like witty, idiosyncratic, like dark humor. I don't think it landed it the way that the Coen brothers can do that. It's very hard to do that. But I have a feeling that this movie is going to grow on me in a few ways, despite the flaws, because there's like blatant flaws in the writing, I would say, and maybe some of the performances or like choices to keep those performances in the movie. There are a few just like weird things, but there's so much creativity in this movie that I really liked. Like just certain shots that will probably stick with me for a while. Like it's in the trailer, but like the most simple shot ever that I thought was so cool in this movie is the dead tree and the police lights.
Oh yeah.
Like going red to blue, red to blue.
Mhm.
And it was just like oddly psychedelic.
Totally.
It was trippy.
That's what I was thinking of when you brought that up. I mean, and then there's the very obviously psychedelic, his dream where he's, spoiler, you know.
Well, don't go too much into it. But yes, there's
Well-
a psychedelic dream. Okay, do you guys want to talk about spoilers? Should we talk about who this film's for?
Yeah, let's
first?
talk about who's for.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, last episode, we were so mad. We
We didn't even do it.
we didn't do it. We didn't do any of the normal shit that
Oh,
we
no.
do. We didn't even like. We just went straight into spoilers.
Yeah. That was
Oh man. Okay, but who do you guys think this movie's for?
I had a great time watching it with everybody. Like
Yeah.
I feel like if you're into slasher or gore,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you're into Final Destination, I think you'd be into this too. Watch it with a group
Yeah,
and you'll have a good time.
I think that's a good recommendation.
Maybe a little alcohol
Yeah,
Good friend film.
or substance. I don't know.
yeah. I think a little
It didn't
substance
help.
or something.
All right, it didn't help Kellen, but yeah, I'm excited to dive into it.
I do want to point out some key moments in our theater experience.
Oh yeah.
A good chunk of people walking out.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
walking.
I
Um,
saw like 4 people.
I started to hear like snickering, and it was during a scene that wasn't funny at all. And I was like, "Why is everybody laughing?" And then
Oh yeah,
in the back corner of my ear, I can just hear some old guy snoring.
yeah.
Yeah. Somebody fell asleep in the theater, and it was probably like 25 minutes in.
Yeah.
Snoring loud.
Yeah, fell asleep
Really
fast.
loud.
Yeah.
And for a long time, nobody woke him up.
No, yeah.
And that was
Straight
such a
sawing log.
it was such a bizarre like sequence of events because like 2 people left, never came back, and then 2 other people left, and then somebody started snoring.
Well,
Yeah.
and he started snoring right when it was like a nighttime scene when there was somebody asleep.
Yeah.
So I was like, is this sound design?
Yeah.
Like what? Like is there
like,
somebody
so
else in the
immersive,
room?
it feels
I was
like
like,
it's
wow,
there.
this is like all surround sound.
I also I could feel the tension in our theater because we were all laughing a lot, but no one else was laughing.
Yeah.
People started to laugh later. I feel like
a
Like,
little bit later. for
We're
sure.
always the first ones to
Yeah.
laugh in a theater, and I
Yeah.
feel like we break the ice.
Yeah.
We don't care.
I
Like,
feel like
Yeah.
the general audience is always like, "Hey, give it a chance," and then later they're like, "Nah."
we're having a
They
good time.
either hate us or they start to follow us.
Yeah,
later
yeah.
in the movie.
You know what, man? They
But-
hate us because they ain't us.
Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Yeah, well,
the point I was trying to make is I think half of the theater didn't wake that guy up because they're just like, you know what? Let him rest.
Yeah.
yeah,
He needs the Z's.
yeah.
Yeah. I do think this would be fun with friends, but I hate to say this because I do like this movie. But I think it's a good background movie, like at like a Halloween party
Yeah.
or something
Yeah,
like
sure.
that. It's going to be interesting to see how this movie is received.
Yeah.
I think. 'Cause I think it's going to be pretty polarizing.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it. for
I
sure.
think my statement on this, as far as who this film is for, I think if you're the type of person who liked Jumanji and movies like that in like the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, there's definitely a little bit of flavor of that in this film, where there's like some crazy shit going on and then like, you know, kind of some unfortunately normal shit laid over that.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
they're fun parts.
That's a great way to put it. There is some unfortunately normal scenes in this movie. and that's how I felt. Thank you for putting that into words.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Let's go ahead and go into spoilers.
Let's do it.
This is a spoiler warning. Consider yourself warned.
To me, the thing that stands out the most is the relationship with his son that he's like kind of estranged from.
It makes no sense.
No,
None of the dialogue makes sense at all.
it was already
No.
there. You know, it was like a template they just kind of fell into, and I don't know, what do we get from that? You know,
Nothing.
nothing.
There's also no like. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's
No.
kind of strange. The resolve to it
Yeah, I don't.
felt
It's
weird.
like,
It's
this sounds like, I guess you were a deadbeat because of there was an evil monkey. Like it didn't feel like they made up at all.
yeah. There was no
No.
resolution to him being a deadbeat. It was just like oh, no, okay, yeah, I understand why now, and now I have your trauma.
yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it's just like so. Yeah, they're just stuck with the monkey now. I also there was no tension on. We're out of order. I'm sorry, but
No,
like
it's okay.
on the when he's like, do not turn the knob on the back of the monkey. He gets the monkey, turns the knob immediately.
It's like, oh, I mean, he's my uncle. It's blood. I'll turn this.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I'll turn this thing.
Well, and that also just felt like the movie too, like in general. It's just like, yeah, I'll just do it.
Yeah, that the
it's so fun.
okay, the Dark Sean character.
Wait,
Oh.
yeah.
That character
Incredible.
it almost made no sense to me whatsoever.
I don't
No.
understand
Like,
how
No.
like
He came out of nowhere.
he wants the monkey because it reminds him of his dad.
And I thought that was a joke. I thought he was making that up.
Yeah.
But then like, oh no, that's his whole motivation.
Yeah,
That flashback of his
That's-
dad with the what was the baton?
The
thing?
baton, yeah.
He's like shooting with the gun, and that's the only.
that's
thing
it.
you got.
That's it.
It's like, what kind of dad is he? Like, you can't even really
And
tell.
it cuts to the mom like, so why do you like the monkey? Does it remind you of your dad? And he's like, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't understand how he even found the brother that was in some random motel.
Oh yeah,
Like, how did he even find that person?
Craigslist.
Because like when
Yeah.
he
It's
gotta be
left,
Craigslist.
when he left the evil brother, he was like, he was just sad that is not getting the monkey. The
Yeah.
brother didn't like tell him. He just said, "You got me the monkey. Now go away."
Yeah.
And
then- Yeah, like what?
That
Yeah,
that
And
it's
now
a
all of a
little
sudden he's
confusing.
cued into the PD thing too. Like he's like, "Oh, I know that I need that guy and his son in order to get my monkey back because he reminds me of my dad."
yeah,
Yeah.
that character
Like,
had the
what?
craziest existential crisis I've ever seen. Because like he went from like I hate my dad to like I somehow want to get closer to my dad. And like, you know, there's just so much back and forth between this guy.
Yeah.
He had a strange death.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the most bizarre death.
It was so weird.
That was one of my favorite
I think
deaths,
that was my favorite.
Oh yeah, it
funny.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That
It was just a jet
hilarious.
stream of bees
Wasps.
wasps
Yeah.
right into his mouth.
Just straight through the bullet
Yeah.
hole in the windshield,
Yeah.
just straight
Yeah.
into his mouth.
You
Yeah.
shot the wasp nest, and then that queen wasp bee comes out, like eyes him down, is like, "We got him, boys.
We got the new nest.
She does one of these. She's like,
Yeah.
The funniest part of that to me is like the wasp nest is like visibly like definitely at least 100 feet away from them, and that one queen wasp like crawls out and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. He like sees her or whatever. Yeah.
which,
I'm like, dude, if I saw a wasp nest, I would
His
just be
hair's
like,
in his face the whole time.
Yeah.
He can't
Yeah.
see anything.
I couldn't tell who the hell that guy was.
Well,
but
I did think that was part of the joke.
No, that was funny,
there's
yeah.
a joke
That
there.
was
It's
funny,
hilarious.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
there's something there. But
To me, that character was so just like not normal and out of place that it was hilarious to me. I just like fully accepted
Yeah.
the movie at that point. I'm just like, this is just weird. This is just
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
yeah, you know, that was the end to a bit of telegraphing. And I got something to say about the telegraphing in this film. All right. So there was a point where he was telling that character, the evil uncle, okay? He was telling that character, like, as he's like buzzing his door, he's like, you know, kid, most like 27% of people before they die say "ho shit" or "holy shit" before they die. Did you know that? And he's like, okay, man, right on. and then it happened to him when he died. He's like, oh shit. And that in that moment, I realized that like all of the telegraphing in this film, there are a lot of points where I was like, oh sweet, it all came like full circle with that thing. But all of those things came out of nowhere. The seed of that telegraphing.
Yeah.
Like it was that kid, like, you know, the son walking through the door of the motel room and he's like, hey, guess what? They're skydiving down the road and
Yeah.
I guess they do weddings.
Yeah.
That
He
added
looked at the
nothing-
pamphlet, like, oh, they do weddings.
Came out of nowhere, made no
That's so
sense,
funny,
added
though.
nothing to the story
Yeah.
except
It
for
was
when that
hilarious.
came back
Very
in.
Oh, you know what? This just in.
Oh.
Oh.
Breaking news, guys. We got Will on the street.
Will on the street.
Oh,
yeah, Will. What do you have to say about the monkey?
Started out not great. The childhood part, didn't love it, but then it paid off. The wedding skydiving thing, best joke in the movie. I think that's the hardest I laughed.
You were laughing really hard.
Yeah. You guys laughed the whole movie really hard. Overall, I don't know, 7 out of 10 probably. I'd rewatch it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Good gore. The gore was the best part. Really good gore.
Absolutely. Thanks, Will.
He liked the skydiving thing a lot.
He like, yeah,
Yeah.
that bit. Yeah.
I thought it was fun. Like that's stuff that I feel like we would write. But like there was a ton of stuff that I related to a ton. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
A
That's
lady
super funny.
crashing through the roof
Yeah.
with a wedding dress. That
Super.
That was ridiculous.
It's so random, but it was set up.
You know
But,
what?
like-
Kudos. you made it come full circle.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
We are jumping all over the place.
Yeah, we
but
are.
I do want to say, like, the ending to me is where I started to really enjoy the film. Like, by the end, I enjoyed what was happening because I liked how the whole town was just getting destroyed by the monkey.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It reminded me of Us, where like it like starts as a home invasion movie, then it builds into like a movie about a town, and then it's a movie about the whole world getting destroyed. Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun.
How does that remind you of us?
The movie Us.
Oh.
That just like reminds me of Us. It's so Us.
This
that is so odd.
Yeah.
But okay, the beginning is where I was definitely like kind of in and out. Because I liked half of the stuff that was happening in that beginning, but then like you said, it went on forever. And I felt like, like halfway through the beginning, I'm like, I get what they're saying here. The brother is a fucking douchebag to, his twin or whatever. And I don't know. It was just a lot.
Okay, I have a huge problem with like school bully scenes.
Yeah.
They're always so. And okay, wait. You know what? You know what? I think they did that on purpose. Bravo, movie. Bravo. Because the movie bullies are always so preposterous, and it's never realistic, and they portray that great.
They're always in a group, they're always like, well.
Yeah.
With the 5-foot Asian girl with a really thick accent being a bully with her foot up on the
had a
bench.
lisp or something. like that's so funny.
That's
really funny.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where you really need to buy into the movie. Like Malignant.
Yeah.
Like if you treat Malignant like a traditional horror film, you're going to think it's really bad.
Yeah.
But like they're doing it on purpose. It's campy. It's fun.
It was campy.
Yeah.
The bananas.
Yeah. And then like they come walking up with like boxes of bananas.
So many bananas.
They just hard cut to him walking to his house just covered in like mushed bananas. Like he didn't take any of the bananas off on his way home.
I know, there's
and
like
he's
so
in
much
his
banana
room.
peel.
There's like bananas all over his head. It's awesome. Like that's
He's set
really
back
funny.
in his beanbag, like still fully banana.
It's just like that's just funny.
It's a very campy movie.
Yeah, they did a good job of setting up the campiness early.
Yeah.
They kind of let it like simmer a little bit at the beginning. You're like, all right, what's this going to be like?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, it was like the mom explaining the concept of death to her sons. It was the pastor.
The pastor.
He
Great.
delivered the worst
Dude.
eulogy ever.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
I loved that. I really liked the first act. I liked it a lot, because it had that nostalgic feel and like, okay, the storytelling from the camera where like he finds a pack of like nudie playing cards. Like the camera, like there's a close of the cards and it's like a naked woman. And the kid's like, I'm going to be in my room. Don't come in.
No, he said our room.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be in our room. Don't come in for a few minutes.
That was a great comedic beat. There were a lot of those.
There are some really funny ones.
when they're like at the funeral and the brother looks over, he's like, fuck.
Yeah. I was gonna marry that chick.
I know
you were, Bill.
I know you were, dude. Big bro.
I think for me in the beginning, I would have liked to have more of the mom. Like I didn't feel, and that's where I feel like the relationships, that was one of the main ones that I didn't feel the connection between the mom and the sons. Because I feel like her monologue about death was just so weird and out of place. Like I didn't feel like she cared about them at all.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like she gave up on wanting to be a mom.
Yeah. And there were moments that were kind of funny to me, like when he first comes home and she's like, I'm making you peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And then he like goes to his room and she gets mad at him because he's not talking to her. She's like, oh, what? Like, you can't say how was your day? I'm here slaving around for you guys. And she's just making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's hard work.
Slaving all day for you kids when they're at school all day.
She also didn't notice that her kid came home without pants.
Yeah.
Covered in bananas.
Yeah.
Not a good mom.
Yeah.
Not a great mom.
There was the people sitting next to me were I don't know, it looked like a couple old, like middle-aged women, and like every time something campy would happen or just like the normal stuff, like they would be like, oh, like what, like what it's like it's like not supposed to, like it's fun, like enjoy it. What, they wouldn't say that. Like, yeah, it's a movie.
Well, there's
no
no safety on that harpoon. Come on.
That's
not realistic.
Oh, it just pulls out all of his intestines. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
We could talk about the cameo, the first cameo.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Scott.
Yeah.
That was
Amazing.
awesome.
Love that guy.
so,
cameo.
so great. I
Yeah.
wanted to see him in the whole thing.
It was
I know.
Yeah.
I
it
was
was
like,
so
ah.
random. He was like, what was he wearing? Was that
He was like a sailor.
Yeah, a sailor.
Oh, he was
No, he's a
pilot.
pilot.
Oh, he
Oh.
was a
Yeah.
pilot.
Yeah.
Sailor.
Freaking Bing bong.
This guy's never been on a plane in his
Yeah.
life.
Hey man, no planes.
He's only
Oh,
been
yeah.
on boats.
Just boats.
Only boats.
It's all we know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep it in the water.
Second cameo, Elijah Wood
Yep.
was pretty hilarious. I thought he's like the what did he coin himself as?
He was the leading expert of dads,
Yeah,
which is like
yeah.
it's almost the laziest antagonist to our protagonist.
Hilarious shirt that you could see his nipples so clearly.
Yeah, it was
through.
like
Yeah.
really dark maroon, and then there was just a rectangle that was like skin colored,
Yeah.
right where his nipples were.
Weird. Elijah Wood is known for wearing some weird shirts.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah,
But
That was
yeah.
awesome.
he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
I think at the core, this movie is about parents and family in general. And I think one of the most interesting things, I think, to contextualize this movie is Osgood Perkins' life. His dad was Anthony Perkins, the actor in Psycho, who died of AIDS in the 60s.
Oh.
His mom, her name was Barry, and I forget her last name, unfortunately, but she was a photographer, and she died in 9/11. She
Wow.
died in the plane that was hijacked
Whoa. She was
Wow.
in the plane.
that hit the first tower.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so this movie, like he said in an interview, like this movie is him putting the grief that he had in his life, and like the studio, Atomic whatever,
Atomic Machine.
Atomic Machine.
Atomic Monster.
Monster. Yeah,
Monster.
sorry. Monster. Yeah, sorry.
They, when he was brought on to direct it, I don't know if he wrote it too.
Yeah, it said written and directed.
Okay.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be a serious movie, and he said this can't be serious because it's about a monkey killing people, you know. And he brought a point that like there's so many possessed toy movies out there already that are taking themselves very seriously.
Annabelle, Toy Story.
Yeah.
Of course,
All
to
of
name a
those.
few.
That one killer sofa movie we watched.
Oh, yeah.
Although it's not a toy, but
That
yeah.
one was good.
Ginger
Okay.
Dead Man.
Yep.
Rubber?
Chucky.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen Rubber?
Rubber.
Rubber's
Are
good.
Tires, toys.
It's
to
about
you?
oh.
Oh, dude. Have you seen
Are
this
sofas
guy's
toys
Instagram?
to you?
Oh, well, if you sit on them right, yeah.
But I
I'm gonna get
think
this guy
like
sofa.
going into the movie with that context, what's going on here?
Sorry.
What's going on here?
Sean made a really good joke.
What'd you
Let's
say?
hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it, Sean.
Can I say it? Can I say
Go
it?
ahead, please.
Somebody get this guy a sofa.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Sean coming in with the heaters. Coming in with the big jokes.
Wow. I like this guy. I like this
Hey,
guy.
man.
Hey,
Hey, man.
you should continue your thing. You were going on with something.
You're crazy.
Please.
I think going into this movie with that context made it a really interesting watch. And I think that's why I kind of liked it, because even though it's a little bit messy, you can see like the director cares about this movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he is trying to have fun, and I think in a way is processing his grief, you know, in a very bizarre way.
Yeah,
But
strange way. It makes
um,
sense though.
yeah.
After setting that up, that it makes
And
sense.
I
The
mean
tone.
the poster, you know, the tagline on it, like that's what he was talking about in the interview. Like he was just like, you know, we're all gonna die and that sucks. And he's
Yeah.
like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's an interesting mentality. I think this movie back to back with Longlegs is a way bleaker movie
Super different.
about parents and what they bring on to their children, what they try to keep their children from. And Osgood Perkins said that, you know, him and his brother, like his parents shielded the fact that his dad was either homosexual or bisexual.
Hmm.
They didn't like, they kind of knew, but you know, they never told them. And I think that's a big plot point in both movies. Are parents trying to hide something from their kids?
Yeah.
It made me really sad reading that. And then I think that's why I just kind of admire what he did with the movie. Because it's cool to process your grief through film.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Heavy.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring down the mood.
Well, Kellen, take it away.
Yeah, take it away.
Go ahead.
What do you
Kellen.
got for us?
Let's hear it.
Talk about all the things you hate about this movie. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Now that you
Yeah,
know
what do
his
you hate
backstory.
Now that you know that, like, it's
Yeah.
a really
Now you
personal.
know
not
his
done that
backstory.
already? Okay, here's one thing. Reaching in the hat, ruffling around. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's
Stop
wriggling.
stalling.
So, I think, I don't know. I'm big on like the feeling of a movie and the feeling I get from a movie throughout. Okay. Some movies leave me with a feeling of like awe. Like I leave the theater tingling, like when I saw Dune 2 or
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings for the first time. But,
Right.
this movie, in the beginning, I was excited. Like maybe a third of the way through, I was still excited, and then it kind of just like my attention span just sort of started to like taper down, and I was just struggling to figure out why. And I think there were just a lot of elements that were almost promised in the beginning that later never returned. And it's like little pieces here and there. Like our first cameo from Adam Scott was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very high, right? That started off the film, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah.
Right. And then also I think the narration. The narration for me was like compelling. Again, it was nostalgic, like
Yeah.
person talking about their childhood. I think of movies like The Sandlot, where the entire film remains in childhood, but it's someone like reminiscing about this one great moment, right? And that narration kind of carries us through, and we have callbacks, and it kind of in the end comes together. That ended. That went away when it came to the present. Then we had another cameo from Elijah Wood. It was awesome. I wanted to see more of him. We never did. And I think there was a lot of substance to this meal that was promised, and I was hungry. And then when I finally sat down to eat, it was like some sides. Like maybe there was some mashed potatoes, but the roast beef, somebody ate all of that, and I don't get any.
The sushi you ate in the theater wasn't enough.
Honestly, it wasn't, dude. I had to eat some of Will's popcorn.
I know, dude.
It wasn't very filling.
This is another moment that took me out of the film because I thought it was so funny. This was after Kellen had opened his flask a few times.
Sure.
And he asked Will, hey, can I have some of your popcorn? And Will's like, yeah, sure. And then Kellen just like houses his popcorn.
He was.
For like,
He was going at
for
it.
like a solid like 10 to 15 minutes is what it felt like.
I
And
was just shoveling
Oh,
the
my
whole
God.
time I just like stopped even like processing the movie, and I was just thinking about how funny it is. And I was like trying to read Will, like how he felt.
Yeah.
He was just kind of just sitting there.
Well, it's
And
like
Kellen's-
I could see that he was enjoying his popcorn, and I was like, man, that looks really good.
I should have got that.
Kellen was just really hungry today.
Yeah.
I was hungry, man. I just needed a lot of things.
There's a vacuum in here.
I feel that. Like, it was a fun ride, but
Yeah.
it was also like I wanted a little bit more from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the very opening, just like title sequence with the music, just got me going.
Oh yeah, I was in.
Anytime you
ready.
got some like retro music in there with the cool looking title card,
Yeah.
just gets me. You
Yeah.
know? And then the movie kind of didn't have that vibe at all for the rest of the
No.
movie until the very end when it goes back to the credits.
Yeah, which were iconoclastic to like the last 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
Which was almost like a slap in the face after what the feeling I just explained to you guys. I was like, fuck you guys.
I wanted that.
Yeah, I'll just go watch Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That is a good show.
Yeah, that's a great
Well,
show.
do you guys have anything else that stuck out to you about the movie?
As far as the look of it, it looked very beautiful. The lighting setups, the real natural feel to the look.
It had the neon look.
Yeah.
Neon has a very specific look for their films, I think.
Mm-hmm. I thought it looked very cool. And
Yeah, I agree.
That helped a lot with the enjoying it.
I really like Osgood Perkins' eye. He has a really interesting eye as a director, especially with Long Legs.
Yeah.
Like Long Legs to me felt kind of like if Wes Anderson did like a really scary movie.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
a generally
really?
unsettling
That's
movie.
cool.
That's a
Well,
fun take.
It's not as symmetrical, but like color palette wise,
Yeah.
like I don't know. And there are
It's very
like
pastel-ish
yeah,
for Long Legs.
yeah,
That's
really
cool.
interesting.
Oh, I do have something.
Oh,
I really liked when he cut the monkey's arm off and there was like blood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Also, to your point on how like we were set up a lot of things, like the monkey teleported places. The monkey, it seemed like, was alive in some kind of way. I almost wanted more like monkey lore explained about.
Yeah.
But to the movie's point, or to the little bit of the backstory that you gave, it's just like shit happens.
yeah.
Is what they're kind of going with. So we don't have to explain it because that's my moral of the story.
Yeah.
But I wanted to learn more about the monkey.
Yeah.
Like it was an entity.
yeah. Where'd the
And
monkey
that's-
come from?
Yeah.
It
I
was
want to
a-
know more about it.
Supernatural demon.
I know what,
Yeah.
but like, how does it teleport? You know?
Oh,
They
yeah.
Jumanji'd us.
Yeah.
In Jumanji, you never figure out where Jumanji came from.
Yeah. But at the
Or-
end, once he's on the shrine, like he doesn't go anywhere. He could easily just
Yeah.
disappear at any
Wait,
moment.
which Jumanji are you talking about?
I'm talking about the monkey, the movie that we're talking about right now.
Oh, that monkey. Wait,
I didn't even listen to your dumbass Jumanji thing,
I
dude.
thought we were talking
I was
about.
talking about the monkey right now.
The
You're not-
monkey in the room.
You're not talking about the monkey in Jumanji?
No.
No.
Oh no!
How many times have you watched Jumanji in the last 10 years?
A
You
lot.
have brought up Jumanji a lot.
I don't remember shit about Jumanji
Really?
except for Robin Williams.
Really? Man, wow, that's surprising. It's
All I remember is Zathura. You ever see that?
Oh, I did see Zathura.
The like,
The Jumanji ripoff.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see
No,
that?
I don't.
The
No.
space one?
No.
I haven't.
It was kind of sick.
Okay, visually, that was sick for like what, 2011?
Yeah, 20. Yeah,
Yeah, it was fucking
it was
crisp.
way back then.
Yeah.
It was crisp, bro.
Dude, yeah.
Freaking crisp.
That reminds me of that kid when we were at Stone Brewery the other day. Remember the
Oh, yeah.
heater? What did
Yeah.
that kid say to us?
Oh,
It was so funny.
he said facts. He was like,
yeah. We were like,
we're like, dude, that thing looks like it's about to explode. He's
we're
like,
talking about a
facts, bro.
heater. Yeah.
He's like 12. Facts, bro. And then like hobbles off.
He has like a fitted like DC hat on. It's like
Yeah.
facts, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is so sick.
There's no hope for the next generation.
None. Yeah.
They've already
Facts,
given
dude.
up on life.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, facts. We could die.
Like, facts, bro. I was like, what the heck's going on with that heat lamp, dude? I'm out. I'm going to get a beer. This guy's like 12.
That kid is awesome.
That guy's so cool.
He's just like heeled off.
Yeah.
Say facts, bro.
Facts, bros. Healing away.
Has like a fidget spinner.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, this was a fun one, boys.
I had a great time watching
Yeah.
this film.
Yeah.
I
I
had
had
a
a
really
good
great
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a
So
little bit
many
of
fun
alcohol. Watch it with your friends. You're going to have a great time with this.
Yeah. I think
Yeah. Blast off.
some substances for sure.
Yeah.
Get high on marijuana.
With a doctor's prescription.
Legally, in a legal
Depending
state
on the
or
state
country.
you're in.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us this week. Next week, we have a very special episode for this guy. It's his birthday. He's turning. How old are you? 8 now?
No, I'll be 7 1/4.
7 1/4. He was born on a leap year. And for his birthday, he requested that we watch Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
And I'm very excited. These guys have not seen it. And I mean, it's a staple, you guys. You're going to have so much fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
He wanted
ready.
us to watch all 3, but I told him he can only watch one movie for the pod. But
I'll get you.
let us know. Let
There's
us
more
know
birthdays
if you
to
want us
come.
to watch more Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Drop a comment.
have a good week, guys.
Subscribe.